as we have been discussing, that sambandhe ananda nasti iti. So in a relationship, here sambandham mainly karya karana sambandha. The relationship between the karyam called product and karanam is called cause. There is no anandam, there is no happiness, there is no fulfillment. Whereas adhishthane anandam eva. Adhishtanam alone is anandam, is fulfillment. Keeping this logic in mind, Adi Shankaracharya tries to address our mind differently to make sure that when we come across these examples, which is very common to us, or you can say when we interact with all these examples, we are indirectly reminded our teaching. So in the last class, we were discussing about Olatam. Especially during different type of festivals in India, or sometimes children out of fun, so they create a fire band. Now in that fire band, as it starts moving in a circular way, that too very fast, it gives an illusion of a sun, as though not only sun is moving. So it is a circular movement and we look at as sun. How this happens also when I am associated, or you can say when the mind is associated with what? With this ajnana. Definitely I consider me as body. If you observe this point, this association, that's why before going to this text or this set of texts, we look at different other texts like, all Upanishads, at least prior knowledge of Bhagavad Gita must be there. Because without this background, or you can say without jnana yogyata, will jnanam come to us? Today I was looking at, you can observe this point, that especially when you look at the mind functions based on which gunam is predominant. When I look at you people, we have this habit. This is what our culture practices. Any Gurukulam you go, what they do is, especially from the child, this is how it has been taught. One line will be taught. For example, if you want to see chanting, Om Ganana Amtva. Now the child has to remember, has to repeat 3 times. Not looking at the book, searching the book. And you know better, when I am chanting, even if you look at the book, still nothing is coming, okay? So you know better what comes. The best part is, after so many years of Guru Stotram chanting, I don't know how many of you can chant Guru Stotram correctly. Just look at Ganapathigan. We have different type of, chanting. How they chant. I am not talking about Sata Avadhani and other things, okay? They are exceptional cases. Why I am bringing this point here is, when this is what in Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, I think 11, 12, 13, these three verses have been taught this. Indication of association of mind with three gunas. How to know whether your mind is sattvic or rajasic or tamasic. In our cultural practices, especially when your mind is able to acquire knowledge, repeat knowledge, that means your mind is associated with sattva guna. That is the indication of sattva guna. That's why one line chanting, automatically 2-3 times the person starts chanting. Whereas if it is rajas, can you chant? Will you be able to repeat? And if it is tamaguna, do you know what? Brahma becomes a Brahma. Okay? Brahma becomes Brahma. There is a difference, okay? Please understand. Brahmarpanam, not Brahmarpanam, okay? So, Ba becomes Bha. Be careful. I think I should not go more than this. However, here, all these association makes our mind different. And here it says, the root cause of all association is nothing but ajnana. Now he tries to give two types of example. He keeps giving. Now let us read it. Mahatve sarvabhutanam anutvam hyati duratah tadvat atmani dehatvam pasyatyajnana yogatah. So this is the beautiful example. We have a beautiful Sardarji's joke, okay? So that to explain this thing. So I can bring some Sardarji's joke long back. We did bring, okay? So two Sardars were discussing. Hey, look, because most of the Sardars in India, they will have this, lorry. But nowadays, the scenario has changed, okay? So they say, look, one Sardar talks to other. Hey, look, to paint this lorry takes so many days. Now look at. They came to the airport to saw the big aircraft. So to paint this aircraft, so it must be so many days, taking so many days. Then other Sardar says, hey, you don't understand now what? Hey, look. When the aircraft goes up, it becomes small. So with the brass, they paint it, chapter is closed. Okay? Come back to our what? The verse. Mahatve sarvabhutanam anutvam hi ati duratah. Even though the object is very big, because of ati duratah, because of distance, it appears as a small object, anuttam. But in reality, it is big. That's why I put to you Sardarji's joke, okay? Now, you can keep painting, okay, in your dream. Then that person, second person asked, then how to reach that? No, they put some ladders, okay. Through the ladder, they waited. The moment they came with a big brush with a ladder, they painted it, okay. However, here, because of distance, the bigness appears as small. And if this is possible, now what? Same thing also with reference to ajnana. Now I consider as body. I need to see, look at carefully. Continuing. सूक्ष्मत्वे सर्वभावानां स्थूलत्वं चोपनेत्रतः तद्वत् आत्मनि देहत्वं पश्यत्यज्ञानयोगतः. So I can give you another example, okay? I have a lot of examples, okay? So, but this is a good joke, okay? Don't misunderstand me. This is a pure Oriya joke. I remember in Orissa, in those days. And when, do you know, this marriage time they used to give one cycle, one radio as dowry. I'm talking about those era, okay? And after marriage, the son-in-law has to come to the home, means girl's side, to eat. So, Jamai Raja, okay? So, the fellow has to come and he will be treated as, like a prince. So, it's very nice. So many items of food, lot of things will be there. And those days, all the elderly people will try to find out whether the person has landed or not. So, how to find out? Because they cannot directly ask this question. It looks rude. They will hand over the Bhagavatam. So he is supposed to read Bhagavatam in front of everybody. Now this person, being dressed with, dhoti and all these things went there. And the Bhagavatam was being given to him. So when he saw Bhagavatam, started looking at, then after that he started crying. The tears started flowing. All these elderly people were shocked. What is happening? Then what happened? No, I really can't understand. So nice. What is happening? Then these elderly people thought, what? He is able to understand the essence of it. Now, understanding the essence of it, now this bhavam has come to him. And that emotion has taken over now. He is crying. Okay, enough. Please, let us get up. We'll go for a food. Do you know what is the reality? So after everything got over, so because wife knows very well already what is my husband. Whoever knows or not, wife will know, but will protect. This is the Indian custom, okay? So Sai asked, what happened? Why did you cry? What happened? Hey, look. I was worried. How did this letter become small? Means, because in childhood he had studied big alphabets, okay? Big book. After that he has not studied. Now first time he is seeing the book where the letters are usual, not small, usual. And he was worried and crying. How did it become small? Maybe these people did not feed properly the letters, that's why it has become small. Now I have come for the food, whether I am going to get food properly or not. However, joke apart, here is a little different. Sukshmatve sarvabhavana stulatam cha upanetratah. Even though object is very small, any bacteria or the virus that we see, when we use the microscope, upanetratah, now that appears to be big. That means it's very clear what is the reality. And when it is associated with some other thing, appears to be different. This is the point to be taken, not stretched, not allowed. Because being example has its own limitation. So that means, even if the object is tiny, small, anu, sukshma, still because of association of different type of lenses called here, you say microscope or different type of upanetratah, the netra takes the help of something. Now that tiny object appears to be big. And how it happens? Same thing. Tadvad atmani dehatvam pashyati ajnana yogataha. So also I look at Atma or recognize Atma as my body. Again he gives another example. He goes on and on. Kacha bhumau jalottamba jala bhumau hi kachata tadvat atmani pasyatyajnana yogatah. When we look at these examples, this example is another example, all are related to our colloquial language. Almost every part of India, we use, expression in our language. We use this word the moment we see the, in English it doesn't come that much. Water is crystal clear. This is English expression, okay? But in colloquially, we use, this jalam is like kacham. And also when we see the glass, kacham means glass, okay? Like glass. Because English it doesn't come. Crystal clear. So we bring the crystal. Same thing also when we see, sometimes, this glass is so clean. Oh, it's like water. So clean, so transparent. So this expression we have. Every language almost. Now that he brings, kacha bhumau jalattam ba. So that means if you look at a sheet of a glass, so you will think it is a sheet of water. So that means the surface of the glass is mistaken as the surface of water. So also vice versa. So how the surface of glass is mistaken surface of water, and surface of water mistaken as surface of glass. Now here puts in together with reference to appearance. So also my body, I consider what? As me. Or I would rather say the consciousness that is me is here looked at as body. I limit here. Nothing much to talk, so that's why I cannot give much example here. Next, continuing. Yadvat agno manitvam. No, we have to go one more word. Yadvat agno manitvam hi. Mano vavanhina puman. Tadvat atmani dehatvam. Pasyatyajnana yogatah. So nothing much to talk here. Here also same thing. The fire is always yadvat agno manitvam. So in Agni, the status of mani means jewel. So that means what? The fire is misunderstood as a jewel. It happens many times, in the dark place. Suppose there is a fire. Oh, it's a beautiful jewel shining. Then you go and catch. Then what happens? And here he says beautifully that how Yadvat in Agni, that means the substratum is Agni. But there is imposition. So what is this imposition? That Adhyarapa here is mani, the jewel, the precious stone. Or here he says, look, in Mano, means in money, in jewel, that precious stone, the imposition of Vanni fire happens. So that means this superimposition is something common in our day-to-day life. But the most sad part of it is when it is superimposition, we think that is reality. And not only we think that is reality, we work accordingly. And that is what is being pointed out differently. Because even though I know this body-mind complex comes under anatma category. In fact, this text started with this concept, Atma and Anatma Vivek. Even though I know very well, but what happens? Because of I notion in the body, now an error is created. And because of this error, I come to a conclusion that I say, I am what? I am body ityartha. Please, continuing. Abhreshu satsudhavatsu somo dhavati bhati vaim somo dhavati bhati vaim tadvat atmani dehatvam pasyatya jnana yogatah. And this example is very popular, especially child, not like nowadays, when nowadays the child cries, what does the mother do? So hands over what? The phone. And what is that? Poco man or what you call all these cartoons, okay? I forgot Poco. Okay, whatever, Pogo or Poco, whatever, okay? So all these, because earlier days it was Tom and Jerry, so Tom and Jerry is outdated, okay? So Tom and Jerry is meant for only 50s people. So like we people, we still love Tom and Jerry, okay? Now new generation, they are not interested in Tom and Jerry, so they are interested in different. However, coming back to the point here, but those days, in ancient days, when a child cries, it's an amazing concept. The mother will take the child out to show especially in the evening, show the sky and moon. With reference to moon, the mother will handle the child. How and why? 2 points. The first point is, child is exposed, that is value system is taught, and interestingly, because Chandra becomes Devata, presiding deity of the mind. And when the child looks at Chandram, means the moon, automatically the child mind is influenced. What a beautiful way of looking at. But nowadays, all your phone, okay? Every Devata is in your phone, okay? Including your insecurities, okay? Just imagine. If you don't eat for one day, will you be able to survive or not? Definitely. But if you don't have phone for one day, how many of you can survive? The world will collapse, okay? Anyway, let us not get into too much. What he says, look, when the child sees the moon, especially mother or grandmother, whoever shows, there are clouds. This is the concept. Now, when cloud comes, they'll say, hey, look, Chanda Mama. Was they will come, uncle, okay? Now is hiding inside. Just wait. The moment clouds move, now is available now, look. So that means it creates an illusion that moon is moving, and they will say hide and seek moon plays, because you are crying, that's why moon is not available for you. Stop crying, you will discover moon will be available. This is what in childhood they used to say. How this is? The example is same thing. Abhresu satsu dhavatsu somaha dhavati bhati vai. Somaha dhavati. Chandra moves. And it appears bhati, it appears Chandra, the moon, what? Moves. But in reality what? Abhrasu satsu dhavatu iti. So the clouds, they keeps moving. Because the clouds are moving, now we are seeing moon in associating or with reference to or keeping the cloud as a reference. Now what appears to all of us? It appears moon is moving. So now the point of reference, how it creates an illusion. And if you observe your day-to-day life, all your illusion is based on your point of reference. So now this point of reference also is being pointed out. That means I have to be very careful with reference to what? Point of reference. And he says, look, because of this reason, the Atma, that which is all-pervasive, appears to be what? Small, limited. Again, because of a different type of point of reference. Continuing. Yatheva digviparyasah mohat bhavati kasyachit tadvat atmani dehatvam pasyatya jnana yogatah. So look, now he says, very beautiful point, how here that when especially yatheva mohat kasyachit dig viparyasa bhavati. Because of confusion to someone, dig viparyasa, mistake with reference to direction, different direction, bhavati. So that means when there is confusion, even though you are very clear with reference to direction, now you don't understand which direction you are. Especially if you look at different way. The intellect always perceives based on its stability. It's a very psychological point. Whatever I can say, one perceives because of the stability of intellect. If the intellect is not stable, so it means unstable intellect will perceive things differently. I will give you a beautiful example. Especially when you are in a new place. In your house, you know in and out, okay? Don't worry. So you have gone to a new place and stayed night. That's why these hotels, they will have, this is called, bed light or this foot light. Suppose there is no foot light and you have got habit, unless there is no light, you cannot sleep because all the lights have to go. So you make sure your bed is this before going to bed, okay? Bathroom, at least which way to go to bathroom, or where is, at least switch. This bathroom direction and switch direction, you must be very clear. Now, suddenly you wake up. The intellect is not stable because there was some jerk, some dream you had, or something happened differently. Now, because you are disturbed or with disturbance, you wake up, will you be able to figure it out in which direction your switch is? In which direction the bathroom is? Sometimes few seconds, few minutes, you keep moving or not. But nowadays people are one step ahead. You know what they do? They keep the phone underneath the pillow, okay? That's more dangerous, okay? Better to go around, look for, than looking at the phone. So that means here he says, look, erroneous perception happens not because of anything, but because of lack of understanding. Even though you had calculated, you have experienced properly, but still the misconception, misunderstanding continues because of nothing but lack of understanding. That's why if I am not stable, how can I see things stable, or how can I have stability in my mind? More of it we will see.